Hello everybody and welcome back to PS Vitesse. We are here at the Sochi Autodrome, of course, for the Russian Grand Prix. It's good to be back in PS Vitesse, and we're here for round 9 of the F4 Championship event in Season 5. It's good to be back. It's good to see all you guys in the live stream. Of course, thank you so much for joining us so far. If you're enjoying the stream, subscribe, like, everything, all that sort of thing. Send in some comments. We'd like to see that as well. But let's get into this Grand Prix. Like I said, we're here at the Sochi Autodrome for the Russian Grand Prix in PS Vitesse. Let's talk about this track before we get into the action on track. So first up, we are here in Russia, which is on the Black Sea in southern Russia. Sochi also hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics, and around this track you'll see many sites of where the Olympics was held, because of course this track was actually built on the Olympics area. So quite interesting to see that it hosted, of course, the Olympics in 2014, of course the Winter Olympics. As for the track itself, it's got 18 turns to make up a circuit distance of 5.8 kilometers. That's 3.6 miles. There's also 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking as well. One down the pit straight, and that's going to be the best place to make an overtake right in between turn 1 and turn 2. That's the best place, of course, to go down the inside or around the outside as well to make a good overtake. There's also a second DRS zone in between I think it's turn 10 and turn 13, and that's actually a pretty similar good overtaking spot as well. So there is a few overtaking opportunities around this track. Not as much as like tracks like Austria or others like maybe Belgium or Brazil, but there is a few overtaking opportunities for around here, so we'll definitely see some overtakes in the Grand Prix and definitely some action as well. So, as I said, we are here with PS Vitesse for the 9th round of the F4 Championship in Season 5 for the Russian Grand Prix. It's good to be back with PS Vitesse. As I did mention, I'm your commentator, Formula Jonah, that's going to be bringing you all the action, everything from today's race in PS Vitesse. Oh, we see the McLaren spin a run there. I think that might have been Tech 31 Racing, who is now, of course, that car's been cleaned up off the track, but he was right in the middle of that one. What if he spun it off the exit of 9 and just hit the curb and hit the wall eventually, of course, and unfortunately is out of the Grand Prix. That's most likely what happened. Another driver that's out of our session here today is Disco Stu, a driver that we all know is very quick. Today, him and Tech 31 Racing are going to be towards the back of the field, so that's going to be difficult for them to come through the field, but of course they have the opportunity to do that. I think they will definitely have the pace to do that, but we'll see how it all works out. But right now, let's talk about the times and everyone out there on track. Well, we got Sticky in that Mercedes. Right now, he's looking very fast. That Mercedes driver with a 131.0, and 3/10 behind is Charlie, who just went second fastest for Haas as well. So good lap by the Haas driver, puts it a 131.332. Now he is around 3/10 behind Sticky, and then we also have Elian Bayan. Elian, of course, for the AlphaTauri team with a 131.704. Now he's just around a few tenths behind the Haas of Charlie. And then we got Leslie the Twig in on Aston Martin on the medium compound tires. Now he is a further tenths behind the AlphaTauri driver in P3, but remember, he's on those mediums. So that is very impressive from Leslie the Twig to go P4 on the grid, so especially on those medium compound tires. So we'll see how it all works out. But in terms of the championship, it is going to be really interesting, guys. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this championship's going, because the thing is that we're going into pretty much towards the end of the season. This season is flying by super fast in PS Vitesse. We've already just had 8 rounds. We're now on to the 9th round of the championship, and it's just going by super fast. So in terms of the championship standings, let's quickly go through them. I'm just pulling it up right here. So for championship standings, Carrot Finger leads us away, and Key is right behind in that McLaren, second fastest, but he is kind of a ways to Carrot Finger. Carrot Finger's got 147 points to that Haas driver's name. Key has got 92 to his name. Now, the thing is that for wins itself, you can take a look at that. The Haas driver has 5 wins, 5 different wins this season, where Key only has 1. So it's no wonder Carrot Finger is leading that championship with 5 different wins. It's very good to see. Key and Carrot Finger are 2 out of 3 drivers to have won this season. The other, of course, being Big Boy Jun, who sits 4th, and just ahead of him is Reflection in 3rd, the 2 Alpines sitting 3rd and 4th. But yeah, it's very interesting to see that, of course. But Carrot Finger looking for a good result here today. Now, Carrot Finger right now, let's take a look at him on the grid right now. He is on, I do believe, a flying lap right now in that Haas car. And he's hitting P9, purple sector through the first sector. So Carrot Finger looking pretty good as we're riding on board with that Haas car as he comes through the next couple of corners, of course, into that really difficult left-hander this is. You want to make sure that you go inward, of course, and then your car is going to kind of go outward. It's going to make it go outward, you know. It's not really under your control at that turn, but you eventually get it correct. Now down that straight, of course, flat out through every single corner down to the heavy braking zone of turn 13. So let's see as the Haas comes around this turn. Second sector, pretty good. Purple through the second sector as well. Carrot Finger looking to go on pole. Now, through the third sector, this is one of my most difficult sections of the track on any calendar because of just how tight that chicane is. And basically, the last 2 turns as well, the double right-hander this is of turn 17 and turn 18 can be quite difficult at some points, especially off the exit 18 because the car is going to throw itself wide. As Carrot Finger goes pole with the 130.8 by 0.2 of a second to Sticky in that Mercedes in the pit lane as it stands. But Carrot Finger overall is fastest, and you can definitely tell with the pace he's got here today that he is going for this championship. You know, he's got 5 wins, looking for a 6th win this season. Wouldn't that be incredible? I think a few other drivers looking for a good result as well. As the 2 Haas is really on fire today. I mean, we got to remember that Haas team, they are partly Russian as well, of course, with Nikita Mazepin's all his efforts coming into that team, you know, with the color scheme as well. You guys can tell it's a Russian team. Of course, it's got the Russian flag, of course, and they're looking for a good result. Of course, they got the Russian they got the Russian Grand Prix. Of course, that's exactly what that is. So the 2 Haas is going well. Technically, their home Grand Prix. Of course, the USA Grand Prix is their official home Grand Prix, but with all of course Mazepin's helpings into the team, that is allowed them to kind of have a home Grand Prix here in Russia. But anyway, moving on, Sticky in that Mercedes, the second fastest team at the second fastest driver at this time, sitting second with a 131.071. That's looking pretty good for the Mercedes driver. Alien Bine looking to improve, and of course those 2 Haas drivers looking to improve as well. Giving Carrot Finger up top as it stands. Charlie in that Haas car. Can he put a better lap time? And we'll see how it all works out. He's invalidated at this time, but can he put in a better lap? We'll find out as we're riding aboard with the second Haas driver as he comes across the line to start another lap. We'll catch back up with Charlie a little bit later. Our AMR Vantage as well, and that Red Bull, I mean, he's invalidated his lap right now, but that Red Bull is looking pretty quick as well. I mean, he could get a really good position here today with Leslie the Twig on the medium compound tires. Remember, he's not going out. He's starting on those mediums, and that's going to really help him out during the Grand Prix as well. But AMR, can he get a better lap time? We'll see. We'll see how that's going to work out. Ender as well on that Alfa Romeo. Let's see how that all works out. As I think just Delta went P5. Puts the Mercedes up into the top 5. Both Mercedes up in the top 5. So the Haas team and the Mercedes team going really well here today. Let's see what they can do in the top 5. All of the Haas drivers and the Mercedes drivers with Alien Bine in that mix as well. And Alien looking for a good result here today in PS Vitesse. I definitely think he can get a good result in Russia as we have Delta going wide. Of course, he's backed off of that one there. I think Charlie, as Charlie loses the car, we caught up to the camera of the Haas driver there. He lost the car, I think, at the exit of 10. Thankfully, he was able to keep that car out of the wall. And unfortunately, though, that did hurt his lap. So that Haas driver doesn't look like it's going to go up into a further position. You know, we'll see how that all works out. Can Charlie improve on this lap? I don't believe so. With the sort of spin for the Haas driver, it looks like that blue, red, and white car will be staying in that current position as it stands. But Charlie across the line, let's see what he can do. Can he improve on his time and go even faster? No, he cannot. Stays P3, and that spin into the exit of 10 really affected his end result of the race, of course. So that Haas car will stay in P3. Next driver to come across the line will be the Alpine, I do believe, of Big Boy Jun. Sitting in P16 as it stands. Can he grab pole? No, he can only grab P6 for Alpine, but that is still a good position for Big Boy Jun. especially since he was down in P16 or 17 as it stands, but he's back up into P6. Good to see that. The AlphaTauri, Valiant Bind, getting a little wobbly out of the last turn there. He crosses the line to go P4 on the great AMR Vantage, looking to improve as well. Let's see as he goes P5, puts it up into the top 5 for Red Bull, a 131.4. The McLaren of Keys on a lap as well, and he puts it P3. Very quick lap time from the McLaren driver, puts it at 131.3 and up into the top 3. Of course, Key battling for that championship with Carrot Finger, who sits on pole as of this time. Sticky is actually invalidated that time, so he's not going to be improving, and I think that is going to be the end of qualifying here today. Carrot Finger, with a very good lap time for the Haas team, rounds off on pole. Great to see, of course, the Haas team on pole here today with Carrot Finger, a 130.8. Can he convert this pole into a win and get a sixth win this season? We'll find out when we head into the Grand Prix, but Carrot Finger on pole, followed by Sticky in that Mercedes, and Key rounding off the top 3 for McLaren. And speaking of McLaren, of course, the previous Russian Grand Prix that we did have was extremely exciting, with, of course, Lando Norris taking pole in that McLaren. Key in that virtual McLaren team, of course, takes 3rd. Can he convert that into a win? We'll find out. Now, the thing about the Russian Grand Prix, in real life, it's this case. In the virtual world, it's kind of okay. I'll get to the point. It's basically whoever starts on the second row of the grid is going to be in a really good position, because the thing is that really, whoever starts in 3rd is going to have a slipstream down to turn 1, and they're going to have a huge chance of taking the lead. So I wouldn't be surprised if Key leads down into turn 1. It's very possible. We saw Carlos Sainz got that bad start. He was starting P2, but he did get that bad start. That enabled him to get the slipstream off of Norris, and he was able to get up there and take the lead, of course, into turn 1. So whoever starts 3rd or 4th, or pretty much behind the top 2, is going to have the slipstream down to turn 1, and that's going to really help them out. So starting 1st or 2nd is not the best for around here, and you don't see that often, because the Russian Grand Prix has that unique situation where you start on the 2nd row. That's the best point, really, to start. I mean, we know that many different racers have won here from the 2nd row of the grid. I think Valtteri Bottas was one. Sebastian Vettel, who started in, I think, 3rd it was in 2019. He didn't win that Grand Prix, but he did lead down into turn 1 due to the slipstream that was enabled, of course, in that section of the race. So just proving that the slipstream can be very powerful for around here. We'll definitely see how it works out when we head into the Grand Prix here in PS Vitesse. Okay, so the formation lap is about to start. We're going to get our formation lap underway, and then we're going to get into the race itself. Before we get underway, I want to give just a thank you to everyone that's watching so far. I've been seeing a few comments coming in, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that's starting to come into the stream. Definitely stick around, as we're going to have an amazing race here today in PS Vitesse, as we always do every single week. But this one is going to be exciting, of course, so stick around for that. Please send in a few comments if you can. Love to respond to as many as I can. Of course, I'm also commentating on this, so I'll try and multitask as best as I can. But yeah, if you guys want to send in some comments, I'll try and respond as best as possible. And yeah, we can get this show underway. Speaking of comments, and speaking of course, the predictions. That's a good point to mention right now. For predictions, who do we think is going to be winning this Grand Prix? Who do we think is going to be the race winner in today's race? You guys can comment below who you think is going to win the Grand Prix. I'm going to give my prediction. I'm going to go bold with this one. I'm going to go Key for the win. Yeah, he's starting P3, but I mentioned earlier on, he's got that slipstream down to turn 1. He might be able to to get this one. We'll see how it all works out, but top 3 positions, I saw a comment coming in, Carrot Finger for the win. Now that is a very good prediction. Carrot Finger on top as it stands. He's got the pace to win. I mean, he showed the pace throughout the season. 5 wins for that Haas driver, and here today, he's looking to do a 6th. So we'll see how it all works out. I'm going Key for the win. You guys put your predictions down below. We'll find out what happens in the Grand Prix itself. But here's the rundown of the grid here today for round 9 in F4 for PS Vitesse. Carrot Finger on pole for Haas F1 team alongside Sticky in the Mercedes, of course, rounding off the front row of the grid. Key in second place in the championship, looking to challenge Carrot Finger and get a better result in the championship, of course, to try and take the fight to Carrot Finger in the championship. Starts third for McLaren. Charlie's P4, that second Haas, lining up on the second row of the grid. Elian Bine and that AlphaTauri starts P5 alongside AMR Vantage for the Red Bull team starting P6. I'm looking forward to seeing that new Red Bull livery in the game. I hope you guys are enjoying that one. We got LR Delta, P7. Big Boy Jun in P8, starting on the 4th row of the grid. Leslie the Twig on the medium compound chart, starting P9 with Ender, P10, Worry Cloud, Vanesky, Luke 2 Red, Inoshia Kai, and then we got Reflection, Disco Stew, and Tech 31 Racing. Disco and Tech going from the back of the grid as well, so keep an eye on them, but right on board with that Mercedes, right on board with Key as well, looking for a good result in this Grand Prix. Everyone is, so the 5 red lights are out here today in PS Vitesse. And the lights are out, and away we go, and it looks like a pretty good start for the leader. As it stands, Carrot Finger jumps away with already a 3/10 gap on the start of the Grand Prix. Key, and it looks like Charlie trying to challenge that Mercedes down into turn 1, but Carrot Finger leads us away. As the McLaren of Key going side by side with the Mercedes down to turn 1. He goes a little bit wide, and there's an Aston Martin. I think that was Leslie the Twig being spun around there. He was facing the wrong way there, but it looks like AMR Vantage, who had a great start, looking to challenge. Down into turn 4 we go. He overtook Charlie, and is now up to P4. Great start for AMR Vantage. Let's take a look at the position gain. I think it was a few drivers gained a few positions. Let's see, as AMR Vantage gained around 2 positions. Disco Stew already up to P9. 7 positions up, where his teammate is down to P16's lost 7 positions for the Aston Martin driver. Looks like there was contact with a driver on the grid. It may have been Big Boy Jun has spun around, and it may have been Big Boy Jun that had contact with Leslie the Twig. They're both down to P16, P17, but Big Boy Jun spinning around there, but Carrot Finger leads us away with a 4/10 gap to Key in P2. Sticky in that Mercedes, landing at P3. AMR Vantage right behind that Mercedes, though, and looking to challenge down into turn 16 we go. Charlie is under pressure from Elian Bine, who's right there as well in the mix. LR Delta as well. We have Reflection and Disco going side by side. Disco's got damage. Disco has damage. So Disco, that's really unfortunate to see. Disco Stew might have to pit very soon as he's looking to go into the pit lane. So he will head into the pit lane. Tech 31 Racing and Reflection, they're battling for position as well. But up at the front, we got to keep an eye on the battle up at the top. Any moves happening? Looks like Carrot Finger still leads us away. That Haas driver has a massive gap now to Key, who's sitting in second place. AMR Vantage looking for that move down into turn 1, but cannot get past the Mercedes. And it looks like LR Delta maybe falling a little bit behind Elian Bine, but still catching up. I mean, that driver, of course, he's got some pace, of course. Delta, I have seen him race before in PS Vitesse. I think he's made a return. I haven't seen him too much. As there goes AMR Vantage on Sticky there. The two going side by side. Down into turn 5 and 6 we go. The Red Bull and the Mercedes side by side. Who's going to come out ahead as we come through turn 8 and 9? It looks like AMR Vantage just goes around the outside of the Mercedes, and that worked out really well as the Mercedes getting very wiggly there, as Charlie now looking to make the move as well. That's also catch up Elian Bine and LR Delta, who are up in the mix as well, as we have a spinner. I think that might be Big Boy Jun off at the exit of 4, as here comes Sticky looking for the move to the outside line. AMR Vantage giving him a little bit of room, but also defending well. Vantage keeps the position, but here comes the Mercedes with a switchback maneuver possibly on the Red Bull. Gets a better exit. Out of 14 we go into 15 and 16 through the chicane. I think Elian spun around. No, the AlphaTauri has just made contact with the wall. That's a VSC that has been deployed to remove all the damage on track, but that is a lot of drivers that are coming to the pit lane as well. I think that might be Key and AMR Vantage into the pit lane. This is very critical for them to come into the pit lane. This is actually really interesting because I thought that they were going to pit a lot later, but they have chosen to go quite early. On to lap 3, they pit under the mediums. A definite 2-stop for AMR and Key as well, but that's super unfortunate for Eliam Bayan after I think a spin it was. I don't think there was contact with the driver. He has spun into the wall and has moved down some positions. But this is very interesting. Key and AMR Vantage critically have gone into the pit lane. Will it work out? We don't really know how this is going to work out. This is quite early into the Grand Prix, and they're definitely committing to the 2-stop strategy. Most likely, they'll be going for a soft, medium, hard. That could be an option. Or no, not soft, medium, hard. Soft, medium, soft. That is the best option for around here. Now, I want to quickly mention that I recently did a Russian Grand Prix, and I actually tested out the tires because I had the opportunity to do so. And what I found is that you can take the softs from around lap 13 to the end of the Grand Prix. I'm not kidding. You can literally take the softs from lap 13 onward. And I was actually pushing quite a lot in the end stick because I think there was a safety car or something like that. And the point is that a lot of drivers could possibly go and pit onto the softs around lap 13 and kind of keep medium pace by conserving a little bit, but also pushing a little bit. And my tires were around 65% when they came to the end of the lap. And to be honest, that's actually not too bad. As Key makes an overtake on Anosha Kai, I think AMR Vantage will look to get past his teammate as well. That was just team orders, I think, for AMR Vantage to get ahead, of course, and Key down to, Kai down to P14 Key. And that McLaren looking to hold out AMR Vantage as well. But up at the front, we got a nice little battle. I think a few drivers looking to maybe make some moves. I think Charlie trying to make a move on Sticky. That Haas driver trying to make this a 1-2 for the Haas team. That would be great, of course, for the Haas team, of course. And we'll see if that Haas can move up into P2. Can Sticky defend that one? We'll find out. Oh, as he gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. And I saw that. I think he just maybe he misjudged it a little bit and went a little too much on the inside of the curb. And unfortunately got that 3-second time penalty for putting all 4 tires off the track there. And that Mercedes driver will be a little bit furious, I think, with that, that little mistake possibly with the 3-second time penalty quite early into the Grand Prix, but it's all good. We move on, of course. He can still get a great result here today. He can still get a podium. He definitely can still get the win as well. It's all up in the air at this stage in the Grand Prix. We will find out how it works out in just a little bit of time. But LR Delta just got a penalty as well. Both Mercedes getting penalties on this same lap ender, pressurizing Delta. I wonder if that's why Delta maybe went a little too wide, a little too much pressure maybe. I don't know. We'll find out as Ender gets past Delta. Delta looked like he backed off there, or that was just the incredible slipstream of the Alfa Romeo as he soared past there. I think Reflection and Tech 31 battling for 6 as it stands. The two going side by side. Who's going to come out ahead? Want to get a good camera angle. There's a good camera angle as the Alpine and the McLaren still go side by side through the chicane word cloud, and this one as well as the Ferrari looks to get involved for the battle for 6 as it stands. Carrotfinger, Sticky, and Charlie trading off fastest laps there. So a lot of drivers right there. Oh, that is LR Delta. That is out of the Grand Prix. And oh no, he's retired in the pit lane. And Key is out as well. Key out. No. Oh no, this is horrible. Key is out of the Grand Prix. Key, the championship contender, is out of the Grand Prix. The driver that started 3rd in the Grand Prix is out on the exit of 15. That would look like it was a spin for the McLaren driver. This is absolutely terrible for the McLaren. He spins off there and he is out of the Russian Grand Prix here in round 9. Absolutely terrible for Key, as LR Delta also out of the race. He pit into the I think he pit and retired manually. So but Key, that was a mistake definitely, as unfortunately he is out of the Grand Prix. This has really helped out Carrotfinger now, as one of his championship rivals now out of the race. So he's just really going for win number 6. But we'll find out in a little bit if he can do that. But oh my goodness, super unfortunate for Key. That has allowed the safety car to be deployed. We will find out what the safety car is. I think it's a Aston Martin safety car. Yes, it is an Aston Martin safety car. I love that Aston Martin safety car. Would always love to see it on the game, but of course we have to see that Mercedes safety car as well at certain tracks. I love the Mercedes safety car as well, but I like seeing a different type of safety car every once in a while as well. But going back to the race, Carrotfinger probably gonna pit, probably all the way down to 5th position will pit. Tech 31 Racing most likely will stay out. They're going for the medium soft strategy, most likely probably pitting around lap 15 onto these softs. Lap 14, I've taken them from lap 13, but you can probably go around lap 14 or 15 just to play it safe and push a little bit more, you know. But as expected, the top 5 do pit. Tech 31 Racing and pretty much everyone on the medium tire will stay out, as Tech 31 will continue on and lead the Grand Prix here today. Carrot Finger and Sticky both got mediums. Oh, that Haas just came out right ahead of the Mercedes. That was almost a jump in the pit lane for Sticky. If you could have grabbed that one, might have got ahead of Carrot Finger. Charlie, I think it was a little bit of a delay for the Haas driver, but it's all good because now he's going to get right behind his 2 rivals in this race, of course. Charlie, the reason why he had that delay was because of the Haas driver ahead. Carrot Finger, his teammate, had to pit before him, and the Haas crew just weren't ready with the second tires. They had the double stack and didn't seem to work out for Haas, but of course, it's all good. Charlie may have lost some time, but he's going to gain that time back up, so all good either way. Anyway, Tech 31 Racing is going to be leading the safety car on lap 6. We got our first safety car of possibly more. We don't know how that's going to work out. By the way, real quickly, if we have the chance to, I would also like to ask if anyone does know in the comments section below the forecast for the Grand Prix. It doesn't look like there's going to be any rain, but it's possible it could come. I mean, we know the 2021 Russian Grand Prix was a pretty bit of a mix-up. You know, it went from wet to kind of dry to wet again. You know, I mean, like that was quite an interesting thing, so could change over. But yeah, if you guys know the weather forecast, if you guys know of any changeable conditions that are going to be happening towards the end of the Grand Prix, like the real life in 2021 race, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd highly appreciate that. Of course, unfortunately, I cannot get any weather graphics in the spectator menu. Unfortunately, Codemasters doesn't have that enabled quite yet. I wish that was enabled. So Codemasters, if you're listening to this, please put that in. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool if you could put in the weather graphic and all that sort of thing into the spectator menu as well, so we can commentate on that. But anyway, I think Tech 31 will probably lead us for another lap, and then the safety car will get in this lap. Of course, we'll see how it all works out, but the safety car probably coming in this lap. I think that Alpine of Big Boy June should catch up to the rest of the pack, and we'll get this race underway at the end of lap 7. A few things to mention before we get our race underway. This is a good point to mention that PS Vitesse not just has F4 stream, we also have the other streams as well. F1, F3, F5, all the other streams like that. I do believe F3 will be tomorrow, and I think F5 will be on Saturday. So catch up on those as well by subscribing to the PS Vitesse channel. If you also want to check out F4 streams, previous and upcoming F4 streams, you can check out that by subscribing as well. I know PS Vitesse provides a lot of different content, of course, to the their YouTube, of course, of all the streams from all the classes that they do have. So definitely do that if you're enjoying the stream so far. Like this button. I'd like to mention as well, if you guys are interested in seeing my commentary as well on my channel, definitely go check out the Formula Jonah YouTube channel. Soon I'll be streaming on Twitch as well. It's coming very soon, and hopefully I'll be streaming PS Vitesse on Twitch as well. But we'll see how that all works out later on. But yes, definitely go check me out on YouTube if you want to check out some more commentaries. I commentate on PS Vitesse, of course. I don't stream PS Vitesse on YouTube because, of course, I'm streaming it on the PS Vitesse YouTube. But, of course, you can check out the PS Vitesse content on this channel. But, yeah, if you guys want to check out my channel as well, I do motorsport content every single week. You can definitely go check that out by checking out Formula Jonah on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and Twitter, all that sort of thing, and even Discord as well. I got a Discord server as well if you guys want to go check that out. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the safety car. Lap 7 will enable us to get the racing underway once again here in PS Vitesse. The top 2, actually almost, to be honest, like almost all the top 4 kind of remind me of the F1 race in 2021. We have the Lando Norris, which is Tech 31, Worried Cloud, who's the Carlos Sainz, Leslie the Twig, who's up in P3 after that that spin earlier on, as Tech 31 gets a good exit there. Leslie the Twig kind of a stroll, you know, as he was up there as well. Vitesse and that Williams kind of Russell, but the top 4 getting away well. Anyway, I'll go back to the racing and not go down memory lane of the actual 2021 race. But anyway, back on track. We got Leslie the Twig trying to make a move on Worried Cloud. Tech 31 Racing will lead us away, of course, as it looks like Leslie the Twig all over the back of that Ferrari. He's looking for a move possibly into the first couple of corners here. I think there's a few drivers possibly off. Oh, that is the AlphaTauri of Elian Bine that I think just spun off there. Where was that? That was at the exit of 2. As, oh, that is Vitesse, I think, that may have, oh, he's moving down in positions, I think. As the Williams maybe made a little mistake. AMR Vantage, Carrot Finger, and Sticky are now up at a P4, P5, and P6. Now, AMR Vantage is on medium tires that are going for a long ways in the Grand Prix. Now, this could really help out AMR Vantage, but they, AMR's got Carrot Finger and Sticky right behind as well. Charlie trying to make a move on Vitesse as well to get in that battle. But we gotta remember, the battle between Carrot Finger and Sticky's not over. They may be battling for 5th and 6th as it stands, but they are eventually gonna get up into P1 and P2. So this might be a really good shot for Sticky to try and get past Carrot Finger. He's looking for the move. Carrot defends the inside line. Charlie got past Vitesse as well, so Charlie gonna get involved in that. That was critical for him to get past. Carrot Finger also looking for the move on AMR Vantage as well. So that Haas driver looking for a move as Worried Cloud gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It looks like maybe it went off at the exit of 16 there. Looks like that was it, as Sticky gets very close to the Haas driver, looking for that move as fast as possible. Leslie the Twig is right ahead as well. He's on older tires than everyone else, so maybe he's just giving AMR and the rest that slipstream and maybe starting to cause a DRS train here. But up at the front, you can see Tech 31 Racing leading us away by 1 second to Worried Cloud. Worried Cloud is being catched by Leslie the Twig, and then we got AMR Vantage trying to go around the outside of the Aston Martin. He's got a lot more speed, looking for the inward move as he goes down the inside. As almost contact between the two there as AMR Vantage looked for the move. Leslie the Twig got a 3-second time penalty is where I don't know. Oh, is that his contact? You saw the smoke coming from the back of that Ferrari there, and Leslie the Twig is another contact between the two as well. Leslie the Twig trying to make a move on Worried Cloud. I think Worried Cloud maybe has maybe damage or something like that, as Leslie the Twig looking for the move on the Ferrari driver. Switchback maneuvers. AMR Vantage coming in that as well. The 3 having a battle here. I don't know how well it's working out though. Sticky did get past Carrot Finger, but Carrot Finger's coming back. This is a battle for the ages right here. Legends going at it here today. Charlie, that's major contact for a few drivers out there. That's Carrot Finger with no wing now, and this is absolutely terrible for the Haas driver, as he has no wing. That was kind of inevitable. There was going to be contact with one of them, and unfortunately, in his Carrot Finger, the driver that started on pole, VSC, has been deployed now. A few drivers into the pit lane. No, that's Sticky getting past Worried Cloud, who dives into the pit lane there. There was just too many cars on track. There was contact with a few drivers there, and unfortunately, Carrot Finger heads into the pit lane. The driver that was up into first place, of course, led this Grand Prix for quite some time, now into the pit lane. This is a major blow to his chances of winning this race. And now he's going to be into the pit lane. He still has a good chance of getting a good result here today, but it is going to affect him quite a bit. Charlie now has a good shot of taking this as well. I think Sticky has actually got the biggest chance of winning this Grand Prix, because actually, no, he's got a penalty too. So Charlie might be able to win this here, guys. He might be able to get this one. Don't count out Reflection as well. Reflection coming through the field. The Alpine driver has got some pace here today, and so we could see how that all works out. AMR Vantage has got 6 up on medium tires. He does have a penalty, though. I think a few got penalties. I think Leslie, Vantage, and Sticky all have 3-second time penalties. Worried Cloud's got 6 seconds time penalties after pitting. I think he got an invalidation, a penalty at the exit of 16. That's why he got the 6-second time penalty now. But unfortunate to see that, of course, at the turn 13 heavy braking zone. Lots of cars on track. That was like maybe 7 or 8 cars on track. That it was kind of just inevitable that there was going to be damage at some points. Elian Bayan is out of the Grand Prix. I think he retired in the pit lane. As AMR Vantage looking for the move on Leslie the Twig. Here goes the Red Bull driver, and he's up into P2. So good move by AMR. Puts himself up into 2nd place now. Tech 31 Racing's got a good shot at winning this race too, because he's going to pit onto a set of soft tires and could get a really good position here today. He's got around a 3-second gap to AMR. He's going to start closing that gap just a little bit more. As here comes Sticky on Leslie the Twig. The Mercedes goes side by side with the Aston Martin, coming down into the final 2 corners as the Mercedes will just about get ahead of the Aston Martin. Charlie looking for the move on Leslie the Twig as well. Sticky got ahead. Charlie has to follow, because if he's going to try and challenge Sticky, this has got to be good for Charlie to try and get past Leslie the Twig. As there goes Sticky on AMR Vantage. Another move for the Mercedes driver. Puts himself up into 2nd place now. AMR Vantage looking to come back though. He's got the slipstream. Look at how much speed that Red Bull has coming through turn 3. Sticky keeping ahead though. AMR Vantage can't make the move down to turn 4. Charlie makes the move on Leslie the Twig. Leslie the Twig goes very wide there. I wonder if he just went a little bit too wide, maybe misjudged the braking point there. Luke 2 Red gets a 3-second time penalty. A few drivers getting a few time penalties, of course, today. That's okay. Those things do happen. Penalties can be quite difficult for around here. I know from experience. Driving this track, it could be... Oh, is that his AMR Vantage that spins around? And he spun around at the exit at 9, hit that curb too much. That curb can be quite dangerous. But AMR Vantage spun around down to P9, P10 now. As the Red Bull is going to move down a few positions here. He's got a lot of time lost, but he also lost a lot of positions there from P3 or so to now P10, and that corner can be quite difficult. If you hit it, you are gone, and that's exactly what happened to AMR Vantage. Thankfully, he kept it out of the wall, kept it out from getting damaged, but he did move down a few positions, so he's going to have to make a recovery drive here today. Charlie starting to close the gap, I think, on Sticky. Sticky starting to extend that gap as well. Charlie trying to keep that gap to Sticky and close, of course. But Sticky absolutely flying right now. 134.6. Charlie gained a 10th on the Mercedes driver, but now that Sticky's been let out, he's now starting to close the gap, and now he's free. He's now able to challenge and go full pace now. Same with Charlie as well. Big Boy Jun makes a move on his teammate. Big Boy Jun getting past the Alpine, the 2 Alpine swapping positions there. I don't think that was team orders. I think that was just pure racing. They had the speed, they had the position, and there was just a chance to do that. As Vineski looking for a move on Leslie the Twig now. Vineski has got the same tire wear as Leslie the Twig. But let's see if the Williams driver can get past Twig in that Aston Martin. The Williams looking for the move, but he can't make the move on Twig quite yet. Oh, Twig goes a little bit wide there. Vineski might have the opportunity. So Vinceski in that Williams could get past quite soon. We'll see. Here comes Vinceski in that Williams. Is going to try and go around the outside, which of course is turn 12 now, and the Williams will just about get ahead as, oh my goodness, here comes the Alfa Romeo of Ender, who sends it on both drivers. And oh, there's a little bit of contact between the two there, 3 actually, as here comes Big Boy Jun. Oh, and Big Boy Jun loses it. Big Boy Jun loses the car, has been spun around there. And Ender went for a move. I don't think that was there. I don't think the move was there. And unfortunately, I wonder if one of those drivers got damaged. I mean, he went for the move. It was really brave, and he was going for the move on Leslie the Twig, but I think he just went too deep because he tried to make the move on Vinceski as well. So I don't know if that was working out. Sticky makes the move on Tech 31 for the race lead. Sticky has gotched Tech 31. Tech 31's got 6-lap older tires than Sticky, so that Mercedes moves up into first place. Tech 31 Racing now down to P2 as expected, of course. Charlie in that fight as well. He's starting to catch the gap on Tech 31. This is critical for him to get past the McLaren, and then just up ahead, if he gets past Tech 31, all he has next would be Sticky, his rival in today's race. Carrot Finger is still in this, by the way, guys. He's not out of the Grand Prix. He still has a good shot at taking this one, but we have a nice battle for P4 in the Grand Prix. Reflection in the Alpine. Big Boy Jun spun and had to pit, unfortunately. Reflection in the Alpine now looking for a move. Now, Reflection is on much fresher tires. Ender as well. So Ender could be making a move on Leslie the Twig, maybe going for another time round. But he's probably going to get the move on Leslie the Twig. Let's see if Twig defends this position. He probably is going to. Ender looking to go for the same move that he did a little bit while ago. He backs off. He decides not to go for that. But Twig makes a little mistake. Here comes the Alpha. Round the outside of the Aston. But can't make the move quite yet. Reflection right there as well. The three side by side almost. Disco Stu in that one as well. The Aston Martin of Disco Stu looking for the switchback maneuver. Here comes Stu on Reflection. The Aston Martin looking to make a move. He's sending it on the Alpine. The Alpine gives him space. And that was actually a really good move for Disco Stu. It's not over yet, though, as the Aston Martin just about gets ahead. Reflection had to go a little bit too wide there. Then Comfort, of course, but Reflection does move down to P8. Disco Stu up to P7. Ender looking for the move on Leslie the Twig. Leslie the Twig giving the position, basically. He knows that Ender's got fresher tires, and he's just going to get ahead. Disco Stu now on the back of his team, and of course, I wonder if there'll be team orders here. I don't know exactly. Disco Stu is on fresher tires than Twig. And it looks like Twig's got damage as he's moving down a few positions. Here comes Reflection and Disco Stu. They're battling for position. Reflection looking for the move as well. So I don't know if Team Orders is going to work really well here, because Reflection is right there in the mix there. So I don't think Disco Stu, he's going to have to make the move on track, I think, as Leslie goes a little bit wide. Here comes Disco Stu, makes the move pretty good, and that was good. That was good. I think there may have been a little bit of Team Orders there, as here comes Reflection moving past Leslie the Twig, as Twig actually fights him back, though. Oh, and there is contact there. There is contact between the two. I think Twig just got a little bit too much on the inside curb. Reflection got past eventually, of course, but there was contact between the two. Reflection will get past the Aston Martin as Twig will back off there. Nothing he can do at this time, but he's going to have the opportunity possibly into the next DRS zone to try and get past as soon as possible. But keeping up with that DRS zone is Charlie, right in the back of Tech 31 Racing. Tech 31 does not have any DRS. Charlie does, and gaining like a bullet right now down the straight. He is a rocket ship down the straight line here. Maybe using a little bit of ERS. He's going to go for it down into turn one. We go there side by side, coming down into the second turn as the Haas driver gets ahead of the McLaren driver. But is Tech 31 going to try this? Maybe try and go for a Charles Leclerc and Kevin Magnussen move like in 2018, but he can't get past quite yet. Tech 31 has to stay behind. And by the way, I said that's turn one. It's actually not turn one. I keep forgetting it's not turn one, because turn one is actually the little kink at the exit of the finishing line there. Turn two is actually the first heavy braking zone there. And so I keep calling it turn one. I think everyone just calls it turn one, but it's actually turn two. But I'm just going to call it the first corner. You'll probably see me calling it the first corner. Tech 31 Racing and Vinceski, sorry, both are going for the softs, most likely. But the question is, when will they pit? Strategy hasn't really been a huge part in the Grand Prix due to the safety car kind of helping out that. So Vinceski in the Williams, he will probably pit this lap, probably to try and get ahead of Ender and Disco Stu, but Ender trying to get past as well. Vinceski knows that he's probably going to be overtaken by one of these guys because they are on fresher tires. It's just kind of inevitable. So I would pit if I was the Williams driver. Tech 31 Racing stays out. He's looking to stay out, maybe looking for that safety car on the rest of the field. We'll find out. Vinceski is staying out. Okay, that's quite interesting. That could work out. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Ender gonna have the opportunity though into turn two. So we'll see if Ender can make the move on Vinceski here. So Vinceski in that Williams, can he keep behind the Alfa Romeo? We'll see. Ender getting very close. He's looking for the move. Brakes a little later than the Williams driver, but can't get past, of course. Disco Stu in that battle as well. Disco Stu has got a little bit more worn tires than Ender, but has less worn tires than Vinceski in that Williams, of course. So Vinceski just trying to defend this position as much as possible. That is helping Disco Stu to try and get past Ender, which will be really good for him. He's all over the back of the Alfa Romeo driver. Keep an eye on the battle for first as well, as Disco Stu still looking for that move. Charlie has catched up to Sticky now. Charlie, 1.2 seconds to the Mercedes driver up front. Let's see if he can continue to try and challenge that Mercedes, and then we'll start seeing a battle for the race win here today. We'll find out. Here comes Ender on the Williams, looking to the outside line now as the Alfa Romeo looks to get past the Aston Martin. Disco Stu trying to get past as well. As Disco going to try and send it to the inside line. Doesn't look like it's the Williams will keep ahead. So Vincenski still in P5. Disco Stu in P6, Ender in P4 now. As Tech 31 Racing comes into the pit lane, gets a 5-second penalty as well. That's not good for the McLaren driver, as he's going to come into the pit lane, put a set of soft compound tires, but he does get that 5-second penalty. It is a very difficult pit entrance, you know. Yeah, that's how that goes. Oh, that is a virtual safety car that has been deployed, and I do believe that was because Twig must have spun, I think, at the exit as he has got no wing there. I think he spun at turn 10, the entrance to the DRS zone. He's got no front wing. This is horrible for Leslie the Twig, as he's gonna have to pit, as he has on the hard compound tires. He's going very wide though, just due to that the damage that he does have, but that's the way it goes in racing, you know. This did help out Tech 31 Racing though, as he comes out of the pit lane with help from the VSC. Of course, everyone's gonna have the Delta to deal with, and now the DRS has been enabled. This is actually perfect for Tech 31 Racing. Perfect timing for the safety car to come out, and perfect timing for the safety car to go in as he reached the corner exactly when it did happen. And we have Disco Stu on Vincenski. Ooh, went a little too wide there, I want to say. Disco Stu and Vincenski still battling for position. Can the Williams driver get ahead of that Aston Martin? It doesn't look like it's going to be possible. So Vincenski most likely has to pit this lap. Yes, he is going to pit this lap. And there goes the Williams into the pit lane. Tech 31 Racing will most likely jump the Williams, of course, as they are on the same strategy, but in different positions on the track. Tech 31 Racing going for the win here today. I don't know if he's going to be able to grab it, but it will be a chance for a podium here today. He's very close to Ender and Disco Stu. Disco Stu, can he make these tires go to the end of the race? Ooh, it's going to be tight. I mean, he could make him 24 laps. 24 laps he'll be on when he reaches the end of this race. But, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out for him. We'll see how it all works out. Disco Stu and pretty much first, second, and third are all kind of at risk for the tires starting to degrade. I mean, first, second, and third, their tires are okay as it stands, but they are going to start degrading probably around lap 23. That's probably where they're going to start degrading. Disco Stu, though, his tires are going to degrade a lot. They're already starting to degrade right now. So we'll see how it works out. Hopefully he can get a good result, but he is going to have Tech 31 Racing that is absolutely going at him, as that is going to be a full course safety car that has been called out on track, the second safety car of the day, and that's because Inoshia Kai has crashed out at the final two corners there, and that has brought out the full course safety car. This is actually perfect for Tech 31 Racing. This has been one of the best races for him. He's had so much good luck here today, and hopefully it keeps going. It keeps going. So the top two will most likely pit. Yes, they are pitting. They will pit onto the soft. Same with Ender. Disco Stu, this has really helped out Disco Stu. Tech 31 Racing will come out, I think, in the race lead of the Grand Prix. No, he is looking to pit. Oh, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't pit. I wouldn't pit here. I really wouldn't pit. Because now, he's got fresh tires. He just has fresh tires. 1 lap old tires. It's actually better to stay out. He's pitting onto the sauce. He's going to lose some positions here. To be honest, I don't think that's the best decision. I really don't think that's the best decision for Tech 31. Oh, I know why he's pitting. I know why he's pitting. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I looked over the entire situation. He was pitting to get that 5-second penalty removed. That makes sense now. Okay, I thought it was kind of like, because he had fresh tires, he was like, okay, I'm going to the end of these tires. It looked pretty good for him, but he got that 5-second penalty removed. That makes sense completely, but he has moved a few positions down, so that could affect things. Vincenski now up to P5. That's actually really helped him out here. That safety car has really helped him out. He's up to P5. Carrot Finger back in the championship hunt as well, of course, because he's P6 now and looking for that 6th win still. I mean, after the little spin and the contact, I think, with another driver at turn 13 and that 7-way battle for like P3, if it was. I can't remember exactly what the position was for, but Carrot Finger back in the action. That's all we want to hear. You know, Carrot Finger is back in the action. Repeat those words. He is back in the action. So Carrot Finger really is going to be trying to challenge for this win. I mean, he still has the opportunity. Sticky and Charlie really battling for this one, though. We have to remember that Sticky and Disco Stew both have penalties, so pretty much everyone behind them will move up positions. Disco Stew and Sticky both have 3-second time penalties. Luke Tourette has 8 seconds. Leslie the Twig has got 9 seconds. Word Cloud still has those 6-second time penalty, and AMR Vantage has a 3-second time penalty. Now, AMR Vantage is still in the fight as well. Same with Big Boy Jun. Both had little mistakes, of course. AMR spun on the exit of turn 9, if I'm not mistaken. Big Boy Jun at this exact section right here on the exit of 14. So those two really have a second chance here. They might be able to get a good result in today's race. We'll find out how that works out, but Sticky will lead us away. We'll lead the second safety car away here today. Tech 31 led the first safety car. Sticky will lead the second, and then we'll get this race underway for the last few laps of the Russian Grand Prix. And I do believe that's the Williams of Luke Tourette coming into the pit lane. Luke Tourette may be changing his tires, looking to get a better tire. We'll see how it works out. And I think actually something we should probably talk about. I think this is a fun thing to talk about. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this as well. While we have these safety cars, it is kind of fun to maybe talk about a few things besides league racing and all that sort of thing. Of course, don't get me wrong, I love talking about league racing, but I also want to talk about some other stuff as well. I want to get you guys' opinions. While we're here in Russia, we're going to talk about that new circuit. Agora Park, they are moving to in 2023 to St. Petersburg. They're moving from Sochi to Agora Park, of course. Now, the track layout is completely different from Sochi over to Agora Park. Sochi, of course, has a little more of like a twisty twisty sections that are kind of going inward and outward, and they're just going all over the place. You can see it on the map there. Agora Park has got a lot more straights. It's got a lot more open spaces. I'd say it's got a lot more fast banking corners, stuff like that. Not banking corners, but fast corners, I would say. It's got a lot more sharp but fast corners as well. In my opinion, Agora Park looks a lot cooler than this track. That's just my opinion, though. I'd like to know you guys' thoughts on Agora Park, and do you think it's the best move for F1 to be heading to Agora Park and rather than here at Sochi? I know we had that fantastic Russian Grand Prix, but besides that, the Sochi Autodrome hasn't hosted a ton of good races in Formula One's past, so I'm kind of excited for the Agora Park circuit to be coming to F1. Of course, with the in 2023 in St. Petersburg, Russia. So we'll see how that all works out. But Sticky will lead us away as the safety car gets in this lap. We'll talk about all that sort of thing later on if we get the chance to. But Sticky will lead us away. Will he be able to get ahead? We'll find out. But let's run on board with Charlie. This is the driver I want to run on board with because it's wherever Sticky goes. If Charlie gets a good enough exit, he might be able to come out of this one. He should be able to go right about now. Yes, and Sticky goes. Sticky does go. Oh! Sticky loses the car a little bit. This is perfect for Charlie now. Charlie has the slipstream. Sticky got a little bit too much on the power there, and Charlie now has the slipstream, but Sticky trying to come back from that using a little bit of ERS, it looks like, and it looks like the Alfa Romeo of Ender trying to go side by side with Disco Stew, who's trying to challenge for a third position. As it stands, Disco Stew does get ahead of Endor, and Disco Stew is up into P3 now. Good move from the Aston Martin driver. Disco Stew really coming into this as Vincenski looking for a move as well. As the Haas of Carrot Finger all over the back of the Williams car. Carrot Finger looking to send it on the Williams down the inside. We go. Carrot Finger. Oh no, Carrot Finger backs out of that one. Tech 31 Racing on those fresh softs as well, looking to come back as well. He's battling for the race victory as well. Oh, Vitesse makes a little mistake. Here comes Carrot Finger on. Oh, his Carrot Finger breaks a lot sooner. Tech 31 Racing has to kind of break a lot more sooner than what was expected. Of course, Big Boy Juin in this one as well. AMR Vantage there as well. Up at the front, Disco Stu looking to challenge Charlie. Now, Charlie has a good shot at winning this race. I mean, he's got the biggest opportunity to win because everyone else has got penalties. Ender as well looking to get into P2 in the Grand Prix, as it looks like Carrot Finger trying to make a move on Vincenski, looking for the switchback maneuver to go for a faster line. Vincenski does defend though, can't get past Carrot Finger. He cannot get past the Williams driver, of course. So the Haas will wait just a little bit longer for that move, possibly down into turn 2. We'll find out as they're coming down to the final 2 corners here, and we'll be coming into turn 2 just a little bit into a little bit more seconds. So we'll see how that all works out. So Carrot Finger down to turn 1 we go. Now onto the run down to turn 2. The Haas driver pulling to the inside line. Here we go. Carrot Finger, can he get past that Williams? He's going to try and send it. Breaks a little bit later than the Williams and gets ahead. Good move by Carrot Finger. Puts himself up into P5 in the Grand Prix. Tech 31 Racing looking to make the move as well. Here comes the McLaren to the inside line, which of course becomes the outside line. Vincenski trying to fight this one back, but the McLaren moves up into P6. AMR Vantage and Big Boy Juin, they're fighting for position as well, as AMR looks to go around the outside. Oh, a little bit of wheel banding between the two as well. AMR trying to keep this going as he's looking to go around the outside, and he does get ahead of the Alpine. So AMR Vantage up into P8 now. Big Boy Juin down to P9. Up at the front, look at the battle for first. Charlie goes a little bit wide. Disco Stu now has the opportunity to try and get past Charlie as fast as possible. Now, Disco Stu could definitely win this Grand Prix. If he gets ahead of both drivers and starts getting that gap, he should be able to get it. We'll see. He has to get the 3-second gap to Charlie after this. Can he do it? It's possible. I mean, he's been showing some really strong pace after recovering from the earlier first lap, I think it was, after he got that damage or something like that. I think he got damage, had to pit, and unfortunately had to move down a few positions there. As we have Carrot Finger on Ender now. Carrot Finger really flying right now. Same with Tech 31 Racing. Tech 31 Racing has really shown a lot of speed in today's race. Look at how fast these guys are. They're trying to make a move on Ender. Can Carrot Finger repeat what he did on Vincenski and get past? We'll see as the DRS is enabled. Here comes the Haas driver on Ender. To the inside line we go. Down to turn 2 we go. The two side by side. And the Haas looks to just barely get... Oh, and there's contact! Ender saved the car there. Tech 31 Racing, there was contact with Ender. I think Tech 31 Racing just misjudged the braking point a little bit more. Ender maybe braked a little bit more. I don't know exactly what happened, but thankfully Ender is still on track and didn't lose too many time there. Didn't lose any positions really to the rest of the field there. Vincenski looking for the move on the Alpha though. As Tech 31 Racing trying to make a move on Carrot Finger as well as soon as possible. Carrot Finger really in a good shot of taking second place here. It could be a 1-2 for Haas today. A first and second place. We'll see how it works out in just a few moments time. Charlie's got the DRS on Sticky. He's looking to get past and get the move on track. He will get it with the penalties, of course, for Sticky, but Charlie looking to get the move on track. He's going to try and send it maybe on the Mercedes driver. No, switches to the other side of the track and has to keep this one safe because he is battling for first. He knows he has to take first here today. And the thing is that he doesn't want to take any risks because there's no need to take any risks because basically the only driver he has to worry about is Carrot Finger and maybe Tech 31 Racing is right there as well. So I don't know. I mean, these two, they're pretty much the only ones that can challenge Charlie as it stands. As the Aurelio Haas sets the fastest lap of the race. Charlie a 133.4, and that extra point will definitely help out his result in today's race as he gets past Sticky and up into first place while going back to the battle for fourth place. Tech 31 Racing trying to make the move on Carrot Finger, and it looks like that McLaren has got past. A very easy overtake for Tech 31. Oh, he goes a little bit wide, maybe got a little warning there. That could possibly give him a penalty or something like that. Wouldn't be good, of course, as he's battling for P2 in the Grand Prix. Here comes Carrot Finger as well on Tech 31. Can Carrot Finger come back at that McLaren? Doesn't look like it quite yet. So the Haas will have another opportunity down into the second DRS zone, which of course will be turn 13. He's very close to the McLaren, 3/10 behind. Let's see if he can make the overtake into turn 13. We'll find out in just a little bit. Back onto the battle for first, though. We got Sticky trying to get ahead of Charlie. He's got the DRS enabled, as that is the Ferrari of Worried Cloud that has spun off at the exit of 9. Maybe hit that curb like AMR Vantage did just a few laps ago. Sticky gets past, though, and up into first place now. As Tarot Finger looking for the move on Tech 31 as well. The Haas driver looking for the better exit out of 14. Can't get past into the DRS, so he's going to have to try and make a move into the first DRS zone on the pit straight, of course, into turn 2 like Tech 31 did. But he has to get a good exit out of turn 19 or 18, I think it is, 18. The last turn, of course. We'll see. So Tech 31 and Carrot Finger coming out of turn number 18. As Tech 31 says the fastest lap of the race, got a really good exit. Carrot Finger got a decent exit as well, but Tech 31 got a better one. But the slipstream is just incredible for around here. Down to turn 2 we go. You can see a close-up on board with the Haas driver, just how much speed he's got through the exit of that last turn into the second turn now. He can't get past Tech 31 Racing as AMR Vantage gets a 3-second time penalty. I think there was a little battle for a few other positions there, mainly down in P8 or P9. I think that was Luke 2 Red, possibly on AMR and Ender, as they both go wide there, maybe getting 2 warnings for them. Of course, maybe they're getting a little bit too much understeer, as Carrot Finger still on the back of Tech 31 Racing. I think Tech 31 just trying to defend this one, because he knows that this is the battle for second place at the stands. Charlie pretty much has this first place, unless there's a contact. This could be for first. Tech 31 Racing could be battling for first, same with Carrot Finger. So we'll see how this works out. Charlie looking for the move on the Mercedes driver. Can't get past Sticky, and maybe he's just trying to use the DRS. Disco Stu dropped back a little bit. He's now down to 2.2 seconds. And now Tech 31 Racing has actually got a pretty close gap to Disco Stews. We have Luke 2 Red and Ender battling for 9th as it stands. Ender trying to make the move on Luke 2 Red into the DRS zone. I think Luke 2 Red got passed into that DRS zone. So Ender had to back off. Luke 2 Red up into P9. So good move by the Williams. He's up into 9th place. Vinchenski on Big Boy Zhuin as well. Big Boy Zhuin in P6 as it stands. A good recovery drive for the Alpine. He'll get some good points. And Big Boy Zhuin looking to defend against Vinchenski, who's closing up a lot on that Alpine driver. But Vinchenski can't get past quite yet. Tech 31 Racing and Carrot Finger still battling for position. Tech 31 has got no penalties in the stands. Carrot Finger's got no penalties either. They are battling for second place in the Grand Prix. Charlie battling, of course, for first. He's pretty much got it. He's pretty much leading the Grand Prix. But, of course, he's got Sticky. But Sticky's got that 3-second time penalty. That is Big Boy Zhuin. That has moved down a few positions. I think he spun off the exit of, I think that was turn 6, maybe? It was turn 5. It was turn 5 for the Alpine driver. As unfortunately, he moved down to P11, and he's going to be out of the points, unfortunately. So, yeah, of course, hopefully he can get... that is the Williams jumping the curb there. There goes Ender up into P8 now, as Carrot Finger looking for the move still on Tech 31 Racing. But, yeah, my goodness, that was difficult to see, of course, by Big Boy Zhuin. Unfortunately, he spun on the final 2 laps of the race, but these things happen. Those first sets of corners are very difficult to get completely right. It looks like Luke 2 Red jumped that curb. Thankfully, he's back on track with no damage, maybe some floor damage. That is AMR Vantage. That is spun around at the exit of turn 16, I do believe that is. And Vantage has spun around. He is down to P10 now. So a few other drivers will move up into 7th and 8th. That's actually Ender and Luke 2 Red. So good to see. As it looks like we have Carrot Finger, who's just moved up to 4th. Sticky down to P2 now. Charlie knows that he has pretty much got it. He wants to keep it ahead, but Sticky looking to move down the inside goes the Mercedes driver. It may not be for position, but it is just for racing out there. Luke 2 Red gets a penalty as well. Charlie gets up at a P1. Sticky knows that Charlie pretty much has this, unless Charlie gets a penalty. Charlie could get a penalty here, and Sticky could be battling for first. We'll find out. Wouldn't that be a nice conclusion to this? By the way, Carrot Finger did get past into P4. I mentioned that a little bit earlier on. We are now into the final lap of the Grand Prix here in Russia. Oh, Carrotfinger loses the car a little bit. That is the Alpine of Big Boy June. Meanwhile, that spins on the exit of turn 4 as AMR Vantage gets a 3-second time penalty. Tech 31 Racing looking for the move, but let's also keep an eye on Sticky, who gets past Charlie. I think these two are just battling for position. Charlie looking for the move. He knows, though, that he doesn't want to take any more risks. Tech 31 Racing cannot get past Carrotfinger as it stands. So Tech 31 can't get past Carrotfinger, but it is Carrotfinger's teammate, Charlie. He started P3 on the grid. I told you guys, whoever starts in the second row of the grid wins a Grand Prix. I mean, that's happened before in the virtual world and the real life. And you know what? It's happened. As Charlie comes across the line to win the Russian Grand Prix for Haas, Sticky will, I think, finish in P2 because Carrotfinger will actually finish in P3. Sticky had enough gap to finish in second place. Carrotfinger will take P3. It's a double podium for the Haas team here today. Especially with the Mazepin backing, they'll be very happy with that performance here at technically Haas's home Grand Prix. Tech 31 Racing will finish in P4. Disco Stu in P5 with a few penalties, I do believe. That dropped him down to that position. Vincenski will finish in P6. Ender P7. And then we got Reflection P8. Luke 2 Red P9. Worry Cloud P10. AMR Vantage P11. Unfortunately, he couldn't get into those points, but he's still going to be finishing P11 with Leslie Tig rounding off the top 12 and the rest all out. Big Boy Jun, Anosha Kai, Elian Bine, LR Delta, and Key. But here's your race winner. Charlie wins the Russian Grand Prix here today. He started third, finished first. What an amazing day it's been for him. He really took advantage of all the situation on track, played that safety car right, played the strategy right, and really, really attacked that Mercedes driver of Sticky. Sticky, great job to him as well, finishing on the podium as well. Got that gap and will finish on the podium. Great result for him as well. Also, great recovery drive for Carrotfinger. It may not be that 6th win, but he will definitely have the opportunity to do it again. He will finish on the podium, making it a double podium for the Haas team here today. And I think Carrotfinger will be very happy with that, especially after the spin he had, I think it was, or I think it was contact with another driver. I don't know who was at fault there, but Carrotfinger did go down a few positions, but was able to get back up into P3, so he'll be very happy with that. Fastest lap also goes to Tech 31 Racing from 17th on the grid to 4th place. I mean, I don't know. That's a really good position for Tech 31 Racing. In the driver of the day, that's what I wanted to mention. We should probably mention that before we end off this race. Charlie actually started 4th on the grid. He didn't start P3, so my mistake there, but still, that's a really good position from P4 to P1 on the grid. That's a really good position for him. So he definitely started in that second row, and that worked out for him. But in terms of driver of the day, who are we thinking for driver of the day? Vote in the comment section below who your driver of the day is. But my driver of the day will be, I think, Disco Stu. I mean, of course, Disco Stu. He went from P16, got all the way up there at the start, and then I think he had damage, went all the way down to the back, and got back up to P5. Well done to him. I think he's going to be my driver of the day with the Aston Martin car. He finished in P5 today. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it here today at PS Vitesse. An amazing race. It truly was here in the Sochi Autodrome in Sochi, Russia. Of course, an amazing race. It truly was. Thank you to all the drivers that participated. Thank you to all the admins that got a great race for us to have here today. Thank you to all the viewers watching. You guys keep the streams alive. You guys are doing a great job by just commenting and keeping in the stream, giving me company, you know. I'm doing my best to commentate on to you guys. I hope I did a good job. And if you enjoyed the stream, of course, if you enjoyed my commentary, if you enjoyed the racing, of course, on track, definitely hit that like button. And I think that is going to be it from us here today at PSVT. So this was the F4 stream for round 9 of the championship event in season 4. F4 always delivers a good race in PS Vitesse, and I can't wait for the next one. Speaking of that next one, it's going to be a great race, of course, and that will be the Japanese Grand Prix, and that, of course, will be next week at the Suzuka circuit. Can't wait to be going there to Suzuka, an amazing track. That one always is. It provides some great racing as well. Can't wait to be commentating and seeing what the action it has in store for us there in Suzuka. So join us then for the Japanese Grand Prix. But from us here at PS Vitesse, that's going to be it. I'm Formula Jonah, your commentator for today in PS Vitesse, and I'll see you for the next one at the Japanese Grand Prix. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.